Hey, what's up guys? Mr. Free Corner here, coming back to you today with more news and more information. And hopefully I'll be able to inspire you to continue holding on and being patient. I'm really hoping that some of you are new, maybe new to the space, and maybe are just getting involved with XRP. The thing is this is probably going to be one of the most important coins you can be invested in. I also want to address another thing, guys. I'm sorry if my microphone is not the perfect or the best mic out there. It is a headset I use, and currently this is the best mic I have. So unfortunately, I can't do a whole lot with it. I try to make adjustments as I can, but this is just really the best. So anyway, moving on. I do want to say also, I'm not a financial analyst. I'm just giving you my opinions, so please don't take what I'm saying as financial advice. Make sure you do your own research and make your decisions based on your research. So, what do we have ahead of us? As far as this article here goes, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse unfolds the future plans of the company. Now, I'm going to put this article in the description. It does, there's a video here where he's speaking. It is very similar to some things that he has said in the past. So, yeah, just go ahead and check it out. I'm not going to read the article. It's essentially the same things that he said in the past, which is, it's excellent stuff. I love hearing what he has to say. He's actually a very inspiring guy to listen to. He seems like a regular guy, really down to earth, and I really appreciate that. So anyway, moving on, we do have, of course, you guys know, the XRP Text application, or whatever it is. It's an instant payment system that we can use, and just using text to send payments to people, to each other. I did check it out. If you go to the site here, where is it? The link is here. It's xrptext.com, I believe. And when you go in there, there are a couple numbers you can send text to and all that stuff. Just make sure you check out the instructions on how to utilize it. I was looking at it, but again, I haven't really had a chance to actually do it myself, so I don't have I really don't have much in the way of explanation, but it seems very helpful, or rather very useful. So something that I'll definitely be doing as time moves on here. Excuse me, I haven't been feeling great. So also, if you have not had a chance to look at this video that Ripple came out with, making fun of the current way money's being transferred and how long it takes, it's really interesting. It's very entertaining. So definitely check that out. It's it's kind of funny. I mean, it's interesting. So Ripple presents new mocking ad. Company's exec claims XRP is better than Bitcoin. Well, of course we know that, and also better than the way money's being transferred today. Corey Johnson calls Ripple Bitcoin 2.0. Yeah, that was something else that came out. I'll just go ahead and read what he did have to say. The technology of XRP is like Bitcoin 2.0. It's Bitcoin, but it's faster. It's Bitcoin, but it doesn't use tons of power. It's Bitcoin, but it's not controlled by Chinese miners. But fundamentally, it is a blockchain digital asset that is used principally for the movement of value. And that is just really awesome, because when we look at the waves that Bitcoin caused, once it really got ramped up, especially reaching its highest point last year so far, and what XRP is actually going to do for the space and just really for the financial industry. It's going to be, we're in for some great times, I believe. Imagine when you're used to when you're used to something that takes you 5 days that now takes less than a minute to do, and that's just a game changer right there. That's going to be from Pony Express to email, and that is so true because, as they've always said, you can do all these different things instantly, send emails, send pictures, send messages, all this different stuff. But when it comes to sending value, it takes days. That makes no sense at all. So, I mean, this is great. Let's go ahead and move on. Now, this is one of the articles that I saw earlier today, actually, and it really caught my attention because, again, it speaks to something that we all want to happen. Now, whether this will happen or not, who knows? I mean, wanting it and it actually happening are two very different things. I'll continue to want it, but I do realize, as we all should, that there is a possibility that it will not happen in the time frame that we would like it to. However, it could happen at any time. Who knows? And I'll go into that in just a second. XRP USD price analysis. Perma bulls place XRP at $500 despite recent downturns. Now, I do have to admit, I have not really looked deeply into this, but I'll go ahead and read this tweet here by Jeremiah. From what I've seen, people are mostly laughing at those who think the price range of $500 to $1,000 will reach end of year 2018. Many are more optimistic 2019 and on. And here was the ripening. Bitcoin took 7 years to grow to $20,000 from less than a cent. XRP won't take nearly as long to hit $500 because XRP isn't stagnant. Ripple has done more to grow the XRP ecosystem in the past 12 months than Bitcoin has achieved since its inception. Backed in Fidelity, and then XRP. So, and this is very true. We have to realize that essentially Bitcoin reached its highest price point due to something that happened more or less organically. And this was, and what I mean by that is it's just people telling other people. Okay. So once folks really, and some ads and whatnot being put out there, but it created a lot of FOMO, which caused the price to go up. Well, the difference here is that there are tons of partnerships, so much work that has been done by Ripple to increase the value of XRP. It is just unbelievable. So not only will there be FOMO, we also have the fact that, and I'm going to tell you, banks will be holding on to XRP, especially in the beginning. It makes no sense for banks not to hold XRP. It's easy to do. And just think of the value they're going to get by just holding on to it. Imagine if you were a bank, don't you think that they would want to do the same things that we're doing? See the value go up and essentially have a higher, for whatever they bought initially, for that value to increase tremendously, like we're expecting. It only makes sense. And also when you look at it in a specific way, like if you look at it as if, okay, well, it's very difficult for it to hit whatever price, whatever it may be, $500 to $1,000, we'll just say, then of course it's going to be difficult for it to get there. That's it, just in your mind. If you cannot see how it can happen, of course it's going to seem as though it cannot happen. I mean, if you've never seen a car before, how could you ever imagine making it from Florida to LA in less than a week? I mean, if you don't know what you don't know, we have to simply sit back and, there's nothing wrong with us having our own ideas about what what we want and things like that. But let's just sit back and see what happens. We do have I believe we have a clear path to it simply because of what has already been done. There are tons of reasons why XRP can make it to that $500 mark, 589, whatever you might want to say. But there are tons of ways it can get there. Now, I can also tell you something else. And actually, if you get a chance, go and check out this guy right here. He has a channel called the HODL Report, and specifically this video right here. If you go and check this video out, he makes a very, very good point. And honestly, after I watched this video, it brought back to memory something that I mentioned some time ago. And this was related to someone who made mention to the fact that XRP and, well, rather just XRP would be extremely important in the future. Now, XRP is going to be a coin that will be held by a very small percentage of the population, probably only as much as 10% of the population, if that much. Okay. Now, like I said, something that was brought back to my memory was the fact that you have to have 20 XRP to actually open or have an XRP wallet, to open an XRP wallet. Now, if you think about it, that can keep people from actually opening an XRP wallet, depending on the price of XRP. If XRP is at $100 or $200 per coin, then we're looking at prices that or an initial value where you can't even touch these coins. You can't touch those. You will have to say, if it's $100, you're talking about $2,000 that will be required to open up the account. Okay, just to open the wallet, and you cannot touch those coins. Now, just imagine if it did get to 589, you're talking about over $11,000 just to open a wallet. Just think about how many people that actually excludes from being able to actually open an XRP wallet, to actually have one. Okay, that is very, very important. You know, now don't get me wrong. As in the HODL report, he does say that it is possible that the 20 XRP limit can be reduced. The thing is, though, the reason the 20 XRP limit was initiated was simply because of security. To you know, there was a security situation. So basically, so they don't have any issues with someone trying to cause any, like, I think it's like 51% attacks or whatever it might be. But it is security based is the reason why they did it. Also, it causes the actual ledger to not get so large, such as like Bitcoins. So there are many reasons why, and it is very so. Essentially, there's other stuff to it. If you take a look at his video, he really explains what these things are. I have not actually looked at the information myself, so I am not going to be good at actually explaining what he said, but because of the there was quite a lot of information that he was throwing out there. But take a look at that video. It's very very important to understand where you are right now, because those folks that are not in it right now, that don't have XRP and XRP wallets, that are not buying while it's 40 some odd cents, less than 50 cents right now, they're going to be extremely disappointed. Now, another thing about that was the thing about XRP is that the 1%ers know where this is going. They know where XRP is going to be very soon. There was a situation where a friend of mine told me about someone who had an account on a social media site. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but this person actually made mention of the fact that XRP is going to be the coin to have, and not everyone will be able to own XRP. More than likely, those that cannot get XRP will have Stellar, and Stellar and XRP do not have a rivalry. They are actually going to work in conjunction with each other. So keep that in mind, guys. We are, we're at the point of seeing some very big things. This is the last day of October. Next week, we're gonna, we have a lot of things coming up, starting next week, and then on into November and December. So there's a lot that can happen in this time. Keep your hopes up. Keep your eyes open as far as all of this stuff, with Backed and I mean, so many things with a possible Bitcoin ETF on the 5th, or thereabouts in November, maybe on the 11th, I think. So there's so many things coming up here. Not to mention, I think during this time we have this is historically the time where bull runs happen, and typically from something I was watching with a video I was watching from the digital asset investor, he was saying that the bull runs usually start from Korea. So guys, if you have not reached your targets yet, make sure you might want to think about doing that. Myself, I have definitely reached my target. I'm just kind of padding things as I go, but I really feel as though we may not have much more time to purchase XRP at these prices. So again, I mean, I'm not giving any financial advice or anything like that. I'm just stating a very clear, something that's pretty obvious, basically. So anyway, guys, that being said, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for coming back and listen to what I have to say. I really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do so, and definitely hit that post notification button. Come back and see me. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.